I once had a history teacher who made us memorize like a dozen specific dates during the French Revolution, and a seventh grade biology teacher who made us memorize all the classes of mollusks. If you think this was a big waste of learning time, you're right. I've never used any of that information since. But this isn't an argument against having any memorization in school. It's more of an argument for carefully deciding what students need to memorize. I'm Andrew with Brainscape, a mobile education platform based on decades of research into how and what we study. And having seen millions of flashcards that our users have created and published, we've developed a bit of a thesis about the role of memorization in education and how to memorize most effectively when it is appropriate. First and foremost, we've got to recognize that most real-world jobs require you to access at least some base level of knowledge in your actual memory. Just because we have Google and Wikipedia to look up any fact on demand does not mean that we want a doctor who has to look up what the spleen should be connected to while in the middle of surgery, or a lawyer who has to look up what objections she's allowed to make in the middle of a trial. It's the job of the educator or the curriculum designer to determine what level of detail is appropriate for a learner to memorize. A seventh grader probably doesn't need to memorize all the types of mollusks, but a marine biologist probably should. Similarly, a cardiologist probably doesn't need to learn all the intricacies of the human eye like an ophthalmologist would, and a divorce lawyer probably doesn't need to memorize every Supreme Court case regarding hedge funds and the SEC. So once you've determined what concepts you think your students really should remember and filtered out the facts that you don't really care if they forget in 4 months, then it becomes a matter of how they commit that material to memory. And here, there are still a lot of educators who say that we should avoid any specific memorization drills at all costs in favor of constructivist activities where you're doing real projects, learning skills, and peripherally learning the knowledge and facts in the process. Well, actually, I would agree that those types of activities are a much better use of class time than just calling on students to see what they remember from a lecture. Yes, interactive skills better than knowledge. But there's no guarantee that your group research projects or in-class debates or experiments are going to magically expose students to all the key facts that you do want them to remember going forward. Students still need some kind of supplementary drills to make that key knowledge stick, at least for the most important foundational concepts that they're going to need to pass their future certifications or do well at their jobs. And the best way to ensure that knowledge sticks and builds upon itself is to obsessively help students use the tactics of deliberate practice, really thinking about how well they truly know material, active recall, where they're not just scanning the information but are quizzing themselves with something like flashcards, and spaced repetition, repeating the harder stuff more frequently and the easy stuff less frequently, but just not so spaced out that they ever forget it. Encouraging students to optimize their study time in these ways will close the loop with that knowledge and fully internalize it so that students can build upon that foundation with skills. And it just so happens that Brainscape actually automates those 3 proven tactics in a personalized flashcard stream, where the learner rates their confidence in each concept and the system determines how soon to repeat each card. The idea is that students can use Brainscape in their out-of-class time to remember the facts, leaving you free to assign more collaborative and constructivist activities when you're in class. The bottom line is that using some set of tools to repeat and solidify students' knowledge as you go will be a compounding investment in their future success, because you'll be building upon the knowledge and foundations and study habits that will last them a lifetime. If you like this advice, we have lots more right here if you subscribe and over at the Brainscape Academy. Our mission here at Brainscape is to help you develop the knowledge, strength, and mindset to help you rise to any challenge.